Welcome back to the Sunday podcast. I'm Nick, and this is
Tony.
And today we are talking about Mr. Anthony Richardson, Sr.
Yes, sir.
And your Indianapolis Colts and that situation that came out this week. I believe it was like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. Right afterwards. So in the combine, Chris Ballard said that Anthony Richardson was a great guy. He's going to stay with the team. There's a future with the team. And then it broke about 3 hours later that
you're gone.
Yeah, basically you're gone. Saying that he requested, but the team and him came together and thought it'd be the best for both to go their separate ways through a trade request. To seek a trade. We'll see if he gets traded. I know about 20 minutes after that, they announced that his orbital fracture was good to go as well.
Yeah, so that's what they've been saying for how long. He's good. He's not good, but he's good.
So it's funny that you say that, right? So the coach came out and said that he's not good, right? And then afterwards, I think this was back in a couple weeks, or actually it was during the whole Phillip Rivers saga, again, second stint with the team, saying that Anthony Richardson wasn't an option because he was still hurt. And then a week after after Rivers played against Seattle, Richardson came off of the IR list, okay, and started practicing again. They opened it up. And then everyone asked, why don't we just put Richardson in to, if we win 2 games, we're in. We just need to win 2 games out of the last 4.
Then you proceed to lose 5.
Exactly. And so he came out and said, he's not good to go yet. And then Richardson did a press conference right afterwards and was asked if he's good to go.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm good.
He's like, I can see everything.
But I will take myself out of a game-winning drive.
I got to go. So that's pretty much what happened there. And that's honestly the start of the downfall of Richardson was when he tapped out, going for they were driving. It was against the Texans. They're driving. He just got done running the ball. And then he comes to the sideline and taps out. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Flacco comes in running a couple plays.
I have that written down here on my little list that I made about my detractions from Anthony Richardson. I'll cover it now. My detractions from Anthony Richardson. Or do you want me to start with the positive so you can get up, build him up a little before we break him down?
Let's break him down and build him up.
Break him down.
Because we're trying to seek a trade still.
I guess that's fair. So my biggest thing was accuracy and turnovers for him.
Yeah, so in 2023, played a few games right before he got hurt. His completion percentage was almost 60%. 2024, he comes in, plays the majority of the season, right? He missed a few games here and there due to, small injuries there and there.
That interception to touchdown ratio is not very pretty.
No, it wasn't,
We're talking Jameis 30 for 30 season.
Yeah.
If he keeps playing.
Yeah. Well, he came out and he had a 47.7% accuracy rating, which is atrocious.
Worse than Caleb Williams.
Exactly. So then he played sparingly in 2025. He completed 50% of his passes for 9 yards. He probably, attempted maybe 3, and those were all, blowouts at the first eight weeks, against Dolphins, stuff like that.
We've talked about a lot, probably 3 or 4 times now, about him tapping out in the middle of a series. So that screams to me, after the game, does he have the locker room? Can he lead a locker room? Because we talked about this before too. Your quarterback needs to be the cornerstone of your franchise to win a football game. The last Super Bowl winning team that we saw that wasn't a franchise quarterback was Nick Foles. If I'm not wrong, Matthew Stafford, franchise quarterback. Who else has won a Super Bowl? Jalen Hurts, if you want to call him don't get me started on Jalen Hurts. Anyway, but can he command a locker room? Can he gain the respect of all his teammates after that? Specifically, the Colts locker room after all of his teammates saw that tapping out of a drive.
So his teammates came out and they gave him support and everything else. But
behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. To me, if I was a player on the Colts at that point, and I saw my quarterback tap out after I give my all every single game, every single week, he would have lost me. And not only did he lose the locker room, in my opinion, at that point, he lost the fandom. The fans were like, "Hey." I saw that. I was like, "This is supposed to be my quarterback, man." Nah, I don't want this guy on my team.
Do I want to tune in and watch this every week?
The Colts became the laughing stock because of that. So it is what it is with that. So we'll kind of move on a little bit.
And the last detractor I have is the injuries.
He's always been injured. Even in college, he's been injured. It was crazy. Before he was even drafted, how many years that he was at Florida and how many years was he actually had lingering injuries. Even back in high school, injuries. So I think at Florida, what did he play? 2 seasons, 15 games, I think it was.
Something like that. I didn't follow Anthony Richardson.
And even then, the accuracy was atrocious. He's completing under 60% of his passes.
He played well his senior year. He played a lot of hope ball, just chucking balls up and hoping
that's what
stick.
The Colts fell in love with was his physical traits, his 40 time, his stature, his weight. Everything,
and that's what I have written down here for my pluses on Anthony Richardson. Number one being his arm talent and athleticism. He can sling the rock.
Oh, if you need a quarterback to throw a Hail Mary, he's your guy. But if you need a quarterback to throw within a 5-yard line, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, he can't hit the broadside of the barn at that point. It's going to go sail way over their heads.
So
everything else.
The accuracy is there. He just needs to tone it down and complete rhythm throws.
100%, but he can't.
I think he can. I think he can.
So funny story, right? So during training camp this year, okay, it showed videos of Daniel Jones going out there completing 5-yard passes, 3-yard passes, whatever, right? And then you get Anthony Richardson next up. He's just sailing over their heads, But he's got a cannon. He can effortlessly throw the ball downfield 50 yards without even being planted on his back foot. So that's the crazy part.
The biggest, I remember, I believe, was it his rookie year, 2024? It was the game against the Bears, and he was getting surrounded by the pocket and just launched one up to Alec Pierce. It was just an insane play.
Was it the Bears? I thought it was the Texans.
No, it was the Bears. Trust me, I remember.
So he also did that against the Texans in Week 1, and everyone.
I think that was this, or no, that was
that was in 2024 when he first started. Everyone fell in love with him again. Or not again. Everyone fell in love. That was the point that we all fell in love with him.
It's like the Bears with Justin Fields. You see one good play and like, oh, I'm back. I'm sold.
Instantly, I was like, yes, that's my guy of the future. Let's go. Let's do that next. And then he proceeded to miss like 14 passes in a row afterwards. So his game stats were funny, right? He'd have 300 yards. And be like, okay, so how many completions did he have? And then you look at the box scores, and he had 4 for 22 for 400 yards. It was just chucking up to Pierce, and getting touchdowns. It was crazy how he was able to do that. Yeah, and Pittman as well. So it was just nuts in my eyes. Like how can you complete 4 passes for 300 yards, 400 yards, and only complete 4 passes? Like that's Madden numbers right there.
But yeah, that's like I said, the biggest 2 things I have for Anthony Richardson, and the last one being that he's super young, 23 years old. He can be developed.
But that goes into our next problem with the Colts. They cannot afford to develop him right now. Okay,
you're in win now mode with those 2 first-round picks being traded.
If they have another bad season, not just a bad season, right? Well, even if they have a winning season and don't make the playoffs, everyone's fired. Yeah, everyone's fired. I'm telling you that right now. Bauer's gone, Steichen's gone, the whole 9 yards. Now, I bet you what's going to happen is they do make the playoffs, right? And then lose week, for the wild card round, whatever, But we'll go into that later. But the thing behind it is Anthony Richardson, we can't afford to develop him, right? Because we're in win now mode. We need a quarterback that can go out there and win us games. He's still developing. It's not in the best interest of Chris Bauer at this point to keep this guy around and to have job security. He needs a proven veteran.
So my thing is, realistically, if you do trade Anthony Richardson, what do you get for him back?
That's a good question.
I think max is a 3rd-round pick, and that's even pushing.
So I think that'd be kind of pushing it, to be honest with you. But I think the thing that it kind of pushes it forward, right, is the talent that's in this draft, right? Where does Anthony Richardson rank in this draft of quarterbacks? He's probably 1 or 2, to be honest.
He's besides for Fernando Mendoza, he's definitely number 1.
Is he better than Carson Beck?
100. Don't get me started on that sloth looking.
Hey, so anyway, and that's what drives up his value. To be honest with you, I think next year's draft his value would go down. Yeah. Right.
Because more coming in.
Exactly. Archie Manning possibly. There's a lot of quarterbacks in next year's draft that could be drafted pretty high and in the first round, right? This year's draft, not so much. There might be one being, a Mendoza or even Ty Simpson, right? So he might go high in the 2nd round. He might be sneaking in the 3rd.
Did you see that video of Ty Simpson doing the weights? Can't even get it up.
Okay.
Pause.
And so that's what increases the value of Richardson this year is the fact that this is a weak quarterback draft. So as far as like a third round pick, I hope we get a third round pick for him, right? But realistically, I can see a fourth or a fifth. To be honest with you, I can see it, or even a swapping of players depending on what you got. You know.
So where do you realistically see, if he was to be traded, where do you see his most realistic trade landing spots?
There's a few of them.
I've got a couple in my head.
Yeah,
I'll let you go.
There's a few of them. I like the Vikings, right? Due to the fact
I
that their head coach came out and said, "Hey, man, you got a great future in this league and everything else." So he loves Anthony Richardson. That's awesome. Love him so much. Love him so much. You give us a third round pick for it, man. That's cool with me. You know, and season tickets, hopefully. Anyway, but yes, love him so much that you give us a third round pick. That's awesome. But you got the Vikings, possibly the Browns. The Jets are a big one in my opinion because they have the second overall pick this year.
I think they go out and get Kyler Murray, but that's my.
It's good. It's a good possibility. But the Cardinals haven't said anything about Kyler Murray being available yet.
Come on.
Tua's available too. You know
that contract is not getting traded.
Exactly. Anthony Richardson's contract is more appealing because he's still on his rookie deal. You get a fifth-year option. He's going to make, I think, it's between $10 to $12 million for us.
I feel bad for all my Dolphins fans out there. You're in trouble. Very much.
This whole year for them is going to be, just in the red.
You got a quarterback that can't get touched because he'll be out for the entire year.
Their whole cap space is just dead.
Red.
It's just dead cap.
Just straight red.
From Hill, Tyreek Hill, and now from Tua possibly. There's going to be Mika Fitzpatrick's on the trading block. But Anthony Richardson, again, I see it could be the Jets just because of the weak quarterback class. They got plenty of picks as well. We've already traded with them multiple times for different players. So maybe that one. Miami is a possibility. I don't think so just because it seems like more they're trying to tank this year than anything. I don't think they're going to go out and get a quarterback.
I don't think
I think they let Ewers.
Quinn, Hookem?
Yeah, Mr. Hookem. See what he's got this year and just tank for him, to be honest with you.
Quinn Ewers is a winner.
So realistically, I think it's between the Vikings and the Jets. People have thrown the Browns in there, but the Browns have so many quarterbacks on the roster.
I really hope it'd be so funny if the Browns did trade for him, just because of the whole Dylan Gabriel Shador draft thing last year. I would find it absolutely hilarious because it's the Browns. They'll never win a Super Bowl. Rip.
They had a really good draft class, but.
I honestly think.
Where do you see Anthony Richardson going?
I liked the Cardinals. I liked the Vikings. Other than that, unless the Raiders trade out of one, I don't see that happening. The Jets, if they don't go out for someone bigger, because the Jets always find a way to do crazy things somehow and still suck. Did you see that video of Aaron Glenn falling asleep at the combine?
Yeah, he wasn't falling asleep. He was just looking at something with a magnifying glass. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Sure. The Falcons, maybe, if Penix isn't, because Penix is going to be hurt at the start of the year, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, man. To be honest with you.
But I'd probably, if I had to pick one team, it'd probably be the Vikings.
I think it's going to be the Vikings. I don't think that they can honestly sit there and say that their quarterback is the quarterback.
Like I said to you, I still believe in Anthony Richardson.
I mean,
I will say, as a Bears fan, my taste in quarterbacks has not been very fun.
I will say this, right?
Not my entire life.
I still think he can be developed. He's 23 years old, right? I still think there's time for him to be developed and be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL.
I think he could be like top 15 quarterback in the NFL.
But here's the problem. The Colts don't have time to do that. No. It's that simple. Okay?
Does anybody have time to do that?
I mean, the Rams could. You got Stafford. You learn Stafford. So again, I think any team that gets him this year, they're automatically like set back a year. So everyone's going to view it like, okay, this is.
The Jets are already set back 15 years, and now he's all set back one more.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem, right? If Aaron Glenn doesn't
wake up,
if Aaron Glenn does sign him or trade for him, right? What happens to Aaron Glenn? Does he get fired during the regular season? Because to me, he's not a great head coach.
No.
Is this what puts him in the doghouse? Does he get another year because of it? So he gets a third year. Just because it was like, okay, we got a new quarterback. He's technically a rookie this year in our system. So, and then go from there with it. So we'll see. But I mean, honestly, I think the best suitors are probably the Vikings or Jets. One of those two, to be honest with you.
So, wrapping up here. At the end of the day, my personal opinion, I think Anthony Richardson stays on the Colts. Whether or not you believe that, I think it's just what, because Daniel Jones, I still do not believe in. But
you don't have to believe in them because the Colts do. Wrapping it up, guys. Thank you guys for joining us today. Nick, is that all for you?
That's all. Bear down, baby.
Believe blue, baby. What's up?